We've all gone out to dinner with family or friends and split the check across everyone. Well, this year for Father's Day, my sister, nephew, and I took my dad to a nice steakhouse. My dad ordered a large ribeye steak. My sister got the duck. My nephew got a great-looking cheeseburger and fries. Actually, I wasn't feeling too well that day, so I only got a cup of soup. When the check came, we didn't worry about splitting it up. Of course, we're good kids. We paid for my dad. It was Father's Day. Actually, my sister covered the whole thing. This made the math easy. We didn't have to worry about who paid what. This was a good change of pace for me because, as a deputy assessor, I know a thing or two about divvying up bills. Now, I'm sure many people don't know what an assessor does. A lot of people think assessors collect taxes. Funny thing is, we don't. The job is simple. Assessors do the best job possible of dividing up millions of dinner bills for a large tab of government services, for essentials like schools, clean drinking water, public safety, that we all enjoy, so that everyone pays their fair share based on the value of their property. Now, most people fundamentally get this, but we leave it up to somebody else to worry about. After all, it can be kind of boring. Okay? Boring or not, we're good tax-paying citizens. Pay our taxes because it's the right thing to do. In fact, about 93% of Americans believe that paying taxes is a civic duty. Now, civic pride is good, but most of us aren't so gratified when we get the bill in the mail. It's unsettling. It's like you really don't know if you're paying the right amount or not, or how this whole complex system of property taxes works altogether. It's almost as if there's a tax illusion no one told you about. Or like you're caught up in a game you didn't even know that you were playing. Yeah. Property taxes are a zero-sum game for sure. But did you know if you're paying less than your fair share, someone else is always paying more? Many people don't even know they're paying what I call an added ignorance tax. Now, I don't use the word ignorance because the homeowners lack intelligence, but because the mechanics of the game are often hidden in plain sight. Now, some people call the ignorance tax big words like regressivity or the assessment gap. The ignorance tax is the higher property tax bill that some pay because of the reduction in the bills of others. It's often hidden in a system where everyone's bills are interconnected, yours and mine, and many people never take the time to look under the surface to find out what this really means. So, to help the ignorance tax make sense, we're going to play a little game today. All right? Imagine we're all back in that steakhouse where we took my dad for Father's Day. But what if in this restaurant, you didn't get an ordinary check, but you had to play the hidden tax dinner bill game? And for the purposes of our time together, let's say this restaurant has slightly different and a little bit strange rules. Rule number 1, the waiter doesn't see the price of every plate, just an average based off similar orders from the past. Rule number 2, you can lower your bill with creative persuasion. That's right. You can convince the waiter that your plate is worth less than what you got, whether that's actually true or not. Rule number 3, every penny that you save gets added to someone else's tab, usually the person with the cheapest order. Now, in any game, there are winners and losers. If you successfully argue that your plate is worth less than what you ordered, you win. If you don't argue, don't know you can't argue, you can't afford to argue, you lose. Okay, cue the game show music. Let's play. All right, let's say my dad, he knows the rules because he's eaten at this strange restaurant before. He knows the game. He convinces the waiter that his steak really isn't a steak at all, but it's actually a thick-cut piece of bologna, shaped like steak. I know he got really slick, right? He supports this by supplying detailed pictures of other bologna dishes shaped like steaks and compiles data to make his case. And you know what? He wins. Yeah. His $75 ribeye is now just $25. That's good for him. But remember, the restaurant still collects the $50 that he saved, only from other diners. And this is the rule that few really understand. So now for me, I'd never been in that restaurant before. I didn't know the rules. I didn't know the game. So you can imagine my surprise when I got my check. My $15 cup of soup came with an added $50 charge. $65 for a cup of soup? Come on now, that can't be right. Our property tax system can be a lot like this strange hidden tax dinner bill game, with many paying an added tax passed on from others. That means you might be paying more and not even know it, paying for someone else's discount, or your underpayment might be eaten by someone else. And whether that's steak or bologna, to me, that's hard to stomach. You know, assessors have to operate off very similar rules. We don't see the full details of every property. We can't even look inside homes. No, I get it. You don't want the government in your bedroom with a tape measure. Right? And like a waiter divvying up multiple bills, yeah, assessors can mix up orders too. I mean, sometimes my sister's duck might look like a chicken breast without the right data. And yes, property owners can use creative persuasion and even hire savvy attorneys and appraisers to convince assessors that their ribeye mansions are really cold-cut shacks. And also true, for every penny one person saves, someone else pays more of the bill. Okay, what does this look like in reality? The data says a lot. Across the nation, studies have found between 2007 and 2016, homes valued around $100,000 had effective tax rates twice that of million-dollar homes. What's more, people of color were more likely to be harmed. Some black and brown households saw about $400 per year added onto their bill. In the past, in Chicago, more than $2 billion in property tax burden may have been shifted from high to low-value homes, from wealthy to poor people. That's the ignorance tax at work. Why does this matter? When the people who can afford it the least are picking up a good chunk of the tab for everyone else? Our racial wealth gap widens. The divide between the haves and the have-nots grows greater. Well, okay. All right, no matter your race or your income, one thing is for sure. If you don't pay the bill, you'll get an even bigger reality check. In the work that I do, I listen to the stories of hundreds of homeowners, and for some, an increased tax bill means they can't take the kind of vacation they planned. But for others, it's more catastrophic. An elderly man came up to me after a property tax education workshop with fear and trepidation in his eyes. He pulled out his bill that had increased by thousands and said, "Kelwin, I'm on a fixed income. I just can't afford this. What's going to happen to me?" A couple that had recently filed for bankruptcy, they told me their home had been auctioned to a scavenger at a tax sale because the husband was diagnosed with cancer and they had piling medical debt. A woman pushing a shopping cart, stacked high with her life's possessions. She told me she knew a thing or two about property taxes. She'd recently become homeless because she hit hard times and couldn't pay her bill. In so many instances like this, I can only stand there flat-footed and heartbroken. And then I think about the countless other stories that go unheard, the ones that never speak up until it's too late. They feel embarrassed, like it's their fault. They feel like losers, because after all, they should have known the game, right? Okay, well, by now I bet you're thinking, is this tax guy going to teach us how to win this game or not? Okay. By now, I hope you see that it's not about who wins or who loses. But I can say progress is being made. In the county I serve, over the last 6 or 7 years, we've seen a dramatic decrease in tax burden shifting. We're eliminating the ignorance tax by using better data and comparing ribeye steaks to ribeye steaks. As a result, mid and low-price homeowners have saved more than $1 billion. We're even getting fewer bogus arguments about property values. Maybe word is getting around. We're not putting up with baloney. And we're having bold conversations about these issues. I helped create our Racial Equity in Real Estate Conversation series, where we assemble thought leaders from around the country to unpack the root causes of inequities in the system and to work towards solutions. You can have your own conversations too. At your kitchen table with your family, across the fence with your neighbors, organize your own forums with elected officials. Let's not let the ignorance tax be hidden any longer. And we all can listen. Listen to act. Listen to change. Listen to disrupt. And now that we know that we're all at this dinner table together, we can create safeguards so that everyone can sleep at night without worrying they might lose the roof over their head because someone they may never meet is playing a dangerous game.